Khonshu, Amit, and Taweret bring their godly powers to the screen, Marvel Studios' Moon Knight. So, to get the lowdown on these larger-than-life characters, I'm talking with Ryan Meinerding and Rodney Fuentebella. Thanks for talking with us. All right, let's kick things off. So, Ryan, where did you and the team look for inspiration for these characters?
We were asked to take a look at the iconography from Egyptian history to try and find the core of what those gods visually were. We were trying to look at them in the comics as well and mix some of the comics history with visuals that we were researching. Muhammad was really key in trying to call out what he wanted to see in each one of the gods and find the hallmarks that are going to resonate with not only a larger viewing audience but also Egyptian people and say yeah, that feels generally pretty right and pretty good.
Okay, so let's start with Khonshu. How did the team approach his design?
Khonshu, he was an interesting character to design. He's a god of the moon, and he's a god of vengeance. And he's one of those characters that has such a complicated personality. He feels like he's doing the right thing, and the way he does it is something that is almost questionable. In the comics, he is a bird skull that's floating on a body. And it's a very interesting challenge to see what we could do to make that feel interesting and feel like it's a character that will play well in the show. So we did a lot of concepts to see what the head could be and how that interaction between the head and the body would be. The look of him was derived from one of our previous iterations of Moon Knight, but in a more kind of emaciated and a more decrepit sort of way. What we played upon was the look of mummies. I wanted to make sure that the fabric flowed and had this kind of creepy quality to it.
His head shape is so interesting as that bird skull. We were looking at that from every angle possible, but also trying to find ways that head, if you're below it, that it looks terrifying. If you're more eye level with it, that it has a different look to it. We learned that lesson on the first Iron Man movie, that depending on the head angle, that helmet can look aggressive, but still okay, or it can look really angry. And using those same sorts of ideas, and the eye shape around Khonshu and the beak, trying to find ways that head can be different things depending on the point of view.
In contrast to Khonshu, of course, we have Amit, Khonshu's rival. Rodney, could you please walk us through her design?
So Amit, in Egyptian depictions of her, she is a hybrid of a crocodile, a lion, and a hippo. And we were playing around with all those different things. One of the interesting things about Amit having a crocodile head was trying to figure out okay, how will she talk?
You are low on faith.
So that it feels right. To do it in a sense that doesn't feel authentic was something that we were playing around with for a while. I'm so proud of how we did Amit's hair and how that kind of comes together. Our artist Vance, he came up with this brilliant idea to make sure that the hair kind of has this sense of it looking like a hair but comes together in the end almost like a tail. When I see her on screen, it's just wow, that's incredible.
Rodney, we of course have to talk about Taweret. How did the team develop her design?
We thought, this is going to be so much fun because she is such a stark contrast from Amit and Khonshu. She is fun. She is someone that was unexpected in the show in a great way. She's a god of fertility. She looks like she's a hippo and she's blue. She's in charge of the Duat, which is the underworld. When designing her, we wanted her to feel like she had this friendly quality about her, maybe even a matronly sense. The interesting thing about creating her was how do we make all those Egyptian lines, how do we put that into a hippo body? I wanted to frame her face with her headdress, and I wanted to create a friendly quality about her and incorporate Egyptian design motifs as much as possible, so that when you see her, you feel that she is a god and you feel that there's a sense of royalty to her, but in a way that's very approachable.
So looking back at the team's work across the entire series, what are you most proud of?
I hope they fit in the story exactly as they're supposed to, and I hope they feel real and like characters, and in some cases I hope they feel terrifying. In other cases I feel like you can hopefully empathize with them.
Knowing what the story is and knowing how good the story is, it was so rewarding to be able to work on these characters and to feel like I'm a part of this. I think we did a great job in terms of how everything looks and the holistic kind of quality of how everything plays together. That's the thing I'm so proud of.
Heck yeah, you guys should be proud. Ryan, Rodney, thanks for giving us the inside scoop. And everybody watching, go watch Marvel Studios' Moon Knight, where all episodes are now streaming only on Disney+.